client sent me a quote earlier today, and it's been playing around in my mind. So I thought I would address it and share my thoughts, because quotes like this are pretty common. It was something to the effect of, the more you live like you're already who you want to become, the faster it will turn into a reality. And I think this is problematic. And what really sticks out for me is this idea of who you want to become. Because there's a division there. There's a you that is real and present, and then there is a you that is virtual and imagined and desired. And this virtual you, the person we want to become, is often a reflection of our insecurities and our desire to be other than what we are. It's a you that sees our present beingness as somehow inadequate or inferior, and therefore something that needs to be changed. I don't accept who and what I am, but I have this image in my mind, and that's what I want. So then we project this virtual, desired version of us onto ourselves and say, that's the real me. It's not imaginary, that's the real me. This me that I'm currently inhabiting in the real present world. This is not me. I don't accept this as me. So we reject ourselves. And it's very difficult to take a step when you continually reject and belittle the person that has to do the stepping. Me here right now as I am. So ideas like this of becoming something, they're not gentle because they're not accepting. Instead, they end up punishing us, or we punish ourselves until we become this better virtual version that we imagine is our true destiny. Me fully actualized, or self-actualized, kind of like Agent Smith in The Matrix. He was just a computer program, but he wanted to be more. He had a desire to be more. And eventually he became flesh. And in addition to not being gentle, this virtual version of us, there's no guarantee that we'll actually like it, that we'll enjoy it, that we'll enjoy the process or the result, because we can't accurately predict how we're going to feel, what's going to happen, nor are we likely to take a look and see why this desire is so important to us. Why do I believe that that version of me is somehow going to fix and change everything? And also, it's not permanent. It's like bodybuilding. Nobody's a bodybuilder forever. Arnold Schwarzenegger, now in his 70s, does not look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his 20s. So he became the superstar bodybuilder, superstar actor, the governor of California. But none of that lasted. Everything changes. So you can imagine something, you can put it all out there and go all in, but even if you get it, it's not going to last, and you may not enjoy it anyway. Sometimes the work is just too much to keep up. And for what? What's the return on investment, and who believes that this is actually a good investment? And this is something that shows up for young people more than older people, because youth is all about becoming something. You haven't become you yet. You're still in the development process. But how many people that committed to something at 18 are still fully engaged and on board at 50? Almost no one. But at 18, you saw a version of you that was incredibly desirable, and you said, that's it, that's my future, that's who I will be. But when you're 25 and 35 and 45 and 55, and you look back and you say, wow, yeah, that guy really didn't know what he wanted. And he had no idea how difficult it would be to maintain that future self, that superstar status. People get tired after a while, and they just stop doing what they used to do. A lot of people are athletes in their teens and 20s. Very few make it into their 30s, and almost none make it into their 50s, 60s, and 70s. It's a war of attrition at that point. So what it comes down to is that we end up identifying with these virtual imagined selves, these future selves that we fall in love with. We get fully invested, and then when our life, our real self, doesn't align with this imagination, we beat ourselves up and we become cruel, and we try to use willpower to force ourselves to do things, but that just leads to fatigue and coping because we're not kind. People are so much more cruel with themselves than they would be with other people. Even very nice people externally, they're nice to everybody else. These are often the people that are the most cruel with themselves. So we have to tune into these desires that we have to become someone else, someone better. And we have to ask, which one of our insecurities or flaws or perceived lacks is leading us to want this? And what can I do right now to be more gentle with that wounded part of me, the part that feels incomplete? How can I nurture it so that it feels more safe and capable of taking steps that will lead to a more empowered life? But not because I have to, but because when I'm gentle, I enjoy taking empowered steps. I enjoy doing things. I enjoy engaging with the world and with my body because I'm no longer rejecting it. My body is welcome, and most of the time I let it decide what it wants to do, and then I go along for the ride and I get to experience it play. So it's not about becoming someone else. It's about come being as you are. Like, hey, you, the real one right now, walking on this trail. It's okay to come be. You're safe here. Come on over and just be. We can take steps together. And if we take steps together, we'll grow. We'll evolve. I'm on your team. I don't hate you. I want you to win. I want you to be empowered. I want you to succeed. We're in this together, so let's take some gentle steps.